Hey folks, welcome back to another episode of Forgin' Fridays. We're going to take a look at another deck here, and today we're looking at my little OmniTell deck. This is a very combo heavy deck, and I've built it around blue and black, but I know a lot of people will just go blue or I don't know, what is it, blue and I forget what the other color is that people usually use. But I went blue and black. I feel like tutoring for your pieces and protection is you can get a lot out of black with that. So without further ado, let me go over the combo here. That's how we'll start it off. So we run 4 copies of Show and Tell. That's 2 in a blue for sorcery. It says each player may put an artifact, creature, enchantment, or land card from his or her hand onto the battlefield. And what we're going to be targeting with Show and Tell in our hand is going to be Omniscience, or Omniscience, depending on how you pronounce it. It's a 7 blue. 7 and 3 blue. For an enchantment says, you may cast spells from your hand without paying their mana cost. And the way that I built this, you could certainly build this around Thoughtseize Oracle and some other cards. The way that I had built this, because I didn't have Thoughtseize Oracle at the time, I built this around Enter the Infinite. I'm sure there's people that will run, various Eldrazi's and things like that instead of the combo that I'm going for. So Enter the Infinite is 8 and 4 blue for sorcery. It says, draw cards equal to the number of cards in your library, then put a card from your hand on top of your library. You have no maximum hand size until your next turn. So, what you're going to want to do, and the final piece here of the puzzle is Laboratory Maniac. Laboratory Maniac says, as a creature, it's a 2/2. It says, if you would draw a card while your library has no cards in it, you win the game instead. Instead of losing it. So the way that this combo works is you want to Show and Tell Omniscience, then you want to play a Laboratory Maniac, or you don't. Maybe you don't have Laboratory Maniac in hand. That's all right. All you really need is Enter the Infinite then, and you can play Enter the Infinite even though it's a 12 mana spell for free using Omniscience, which gets you to draw your entire deck and put 1 card back. So once you have your entire deck in hand, you play a Laboratory Maniac for free again with Omniscience, and then you play any 2 draw spells. We have a ton of draw spells. So actually, let's go through that now. So the first way we have a draw spell here is we have a Yawgmoth's Bargain for black. So hopefully, you've gotten your Omniscience out and you can play this for free. If not, it's still playable in this deck, assuming you live to turn 6 or what have you. And it's an enchantment that says skip your draw step, pay 1 life, draw a card. So that's, all these draw effects, by the way, they're going to be necessary to win with Laboratory Maniac after we play our Enter the Infinite, but they're also useful for getting us our, what do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 3 combo pieces basically. So we do need a decent amount of draw and tutoring and things like that in this deck. So Yawgmoth's Bargain, very helpful in that regard. We can spend our life to draw. Next card, another powerful card that is just a direct tutor, is Mastermind's Acquisition. And normally I would run this with a sideboard, and you'd be able to make use of the second ability here, which is choose a card you own from outside the game and put it into your hand. And that also would go for Cunning Wish. I don't actually have a sideboard with that, so Cunning Wish is going to be a kind of a useless card in this deck. But Mastermind Acquisition, its first ability is search your library for a card, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. So you know, if you have an Omniscience out and you haven't found a Enter the Infinite, you can Mastermind Acquisition, get your Enter the Infinite, and play it with Omniscience. Or you can find your Omniscience if you have a Show and Tell, and maybe some draw effects to draw you through some of your deck to get the Enter the Infinite. But yes, Mastermind Acquisition, I'm not sure why more people don't run it. It's a pretty solid card, even though it's sorcery speed. Next we have Drawn from Dreams. That's 2 and 2 blue. For sorcery, it says look at the top 7 cards of your library, put 2 of them into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So that's, you know, that's basically draw 7 and look for your combo pieces. And look for 2 of your combo pieces. Pretty useful in this deck. Next, we have Lim-Dul's Vault. Here it is, Lim-Dul's Vault. It says look at the top 5 cards of your. It's it's an instant for a blue and a black, and it says look at the top 5 cards of your library. As many times as you choose, you may pay 1. Put those cards on the bottom of your library in any order. Then look at the top 5 cards of your library. Then shuffle and put the last cards you looked at that way in any order on the top. So that can be good for, you know, assembling your combo pieces. You know, if you're one combo piece away, you can Lim-Dul's Vault and get the other combo piece on top, and then you know, use one of the draw effects. So this isn't actually a draw effect, but it assembles your combo pieces. And then you play some kind of draw ability, and you draw that combo piece. So let's see, what else do we... Changing to funky mode there for a second. We also have a Gitaxian Probe, which is a Phyrexian blue, so you can pay 2 life or 1 blue mana, and you can look at target player's hand, generally your opponent, and then you draw a card. So it can just be a draw effect if you don't have any of the effects to actually affect your opponent's hand, which we do have a few of them. We also run a Ponder, which is 1 blue for a sorcery. It says look at the top 3 cards of your library, then put them back in any order. You may shuffle, draw a card. So once again, ordering our deck, you're drawing a card. We also run 4 Preordains, which is 1 blue mana for sorcery. It says scry 2, then draw a card. So another draw effect we want to have. And finally, we run a Fetid Pool, which has cycling 2. So, you know, if we're already pretty swamped on lands, well, a bit of a pun intended. Fetid Pool, you just cycle it away and draw a card. Nifty in that respect. So you have all this draw, you have this somewhat complicated combo. How are we gonna survive all the turns we need to actually find our pieces and play them? So that's where some of this protection comes in. We run 2 Duresses. That's 1 black for a sorcery. It says target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-creature, non-land card from it. The player discards that card, so some discard on the opponent. We run 2 Inquisitions of Kozilek, which is 1 black for a sorcery. This target player reveals their hand. You may choose a non-land card from it with mana value 3 or less. That player discards that card. We also run 4 counterspells, which are 2 blue for an instant says counter target spell. The original counterspell. And then we also run 1 Thoughtseize. Target player reveals their hand. You may choose a non-land card from it. The player discards that card. You lose 2 life. So that's the basics of the deck. Actually, a pretty short rundown there, but let's jump into it. Oh, I should also mention our Baleful Strix here does provide, it's a flying death touch, and when it enters we draw a card, so another draw effect and a bit more protection, you know, make sure nothing's swinging into us too hard since we got a death touch with flying. I think, you know, I'm thinking this Cunning Wish probably should be swapped out for a Baleful Strix, especially if you're not running it with the sideboard, but we'll run it as is. And we'll see how it plays. Honestly, I don't really play this deck as often as I used to. It's a bit clunky for a combo. You can tell like 3 or 4 pieces you need to be able to play and not get yourself counterspelled. You have no blue mana. You know what, I'll keep it though, because we do have something we can actually play. So, let's Inquisition of Kozilek and see what they have. Mountain, what is this? This is the counter. Okay. What of these don't I want him to have? Oh. Choose one to... Can I view this? Can't block, has flying. Oh, it has to be 3 or less, right? Game like the brick counter. We don't really care about life gain. Let's go with the Goblin Glider. It's one less thing we have to worry about. Let's play that. Okay, well, we have Show and Tell. Show and Tell is going to be online soon, but we need another blue source, or so we can play these Drawn from Dreams, or we need to draw our Omniscience. He drew one. Oh, yep, we have another blue source. Let's play that. And we don't have anything to Show and Tell out yet. We do have a Counterspell online. Okay. That's the... Yeah, I don't care if he gains life. Our deck does not win by beating the opponent on life. Okay. So we can... Mastermind Inquisition. Drawn from Dreams? Drawn from Dreams. Let's draw from Dreams first. And hope we can get something. Okay. What cards to put into my hand? There's an Enter the Infinite. We need one of those. Let's take an Enter the Infinite, and let's take... See, Cunning Wish, if I had a sideboard, would be our answer, because we'd keep extras of our combo pieces there. We'll take the Bargain, too. Do that. And, unfortunately, we don't have a Counterspell up. Ugh, okay. This is becoming a problem. Yeah, we need to... Let's play our land. And then... too low on life yet. So let's bargain. Actually, no, let's not bargain. Let's Mastermind Inquisition. Black. Yeah, we still can't leave up our Counterspell. So we need to grab our Omniscience. And we should be set for next turn. It's doing 13 damage, but I think we finally achieved a goal here. So we'll Omniscience. We'll enter the Infinite without paying its mana cost. And we'll pick an island, and we need to find... Now we have our entire deck in our hand. Less that one island. I'm looking for a Laboratory Maniac. Laboratory Maniac. And at this point we basically won, because we can... Anything that they cast right now, even though they have a bunch of islands and stuff up, we can always counterspell. We have a ton of counterspells. So now we just need to basically just cast anything that causes us to draw. Yeah, that's fine. We draw it, and then Preordain again. Yep, there's nothing there, and we won. There you go. That's the whole That's the whole combo there. I'm glad we managed to get it off. But you can see it's kind of a slow... You can see what turn are we on? We hit that 6. So it takes a while. You need to find all your pieces. You need to have enough mana to play them all. Well, at least to play the show and tell. But, you know, it's doable. Depending on the opponent. Alright, let's play another one. Maybe we'll get to see one where it doesn't go so well. Okay. Let's see. Play this. Yeah, I probably should not have kept this hand. We're gonna be a bit... And we have a blue source. Blue source, always welcome. Could use another blue source though, or black source. Oh yeah, we've already let's get rid of... I'll get rid of Duress, I suppose. Okay, that's fine. We're getting all of our combo pieces, we're not getting lands. we're running into some serious issues here. I guess let's get rid of the Thoughtseize. Alright, we got a black now. Let's dress them. Okay, and what is it? Choose a card, non-creature, non-land. I feel like this one is worse, right? I like how this is completely unreadable. Does 2 damage to fight as you choose among one. Okay. That's fine. I think that's a problem. Okay, is that creatures? Choose 1 or 2 creatures. Creatures or players. Dismember. What's the swipe down? -5, -5. And I gotta watch out for that. We have a lot of these things would do some damage to our Laboratory Maniac, but we're gonna have counterspells at that point. So we'll take the Lightning Bolt. I think it's the most damaging thing. Yeah, I feel like we're not. I feel like we. Like I didn't do a great enough job of 3 or less. Probably should have mulliganed a bit harder. Wasteland. Does Wasteland hit? Oh, only non-basics? Well, that's great if we get a non-basic. Have to use it fast, I guess. I guess we'll get rid of the Forked Bolt? Forked Bolt can damage us. Yeah, we might not. We still don't have the. Yeah, I think we're dead next turn, right? Because we don't have enough. I can show and tell, but I have nothing to show and tell. All right, yeah, because this is enough. This is lethal next turn anyway, so we'll concede it there. I should have probably mulliganed a bit better there. But you can see how an aggressive deck can really do a number on this OmniTell deck. 2 blue. Yeah, we'll go with this. Wish we had a black, but let's get down an island. Already like 2/3 of the way to a show and tell. What is this thing? That's fine. We're not gonna be blocking. Where we're going, we're not blocking. All right. Well, we have the mana for the show and tell now, and we have our 2 combo pieces. We need that show and tell, or another black source, or even any other land for this Drawn from Green. So, kind of. That's the decent thing about this deck is that at a certain point, I drew the Laboratory Maniac. I'm not gonna play it. It's liable to get bolted or something. And we don't really have the protection, and we only have one of them. Okay. Oh yeah, we're drawing all the Enter the Infinites and everything. I think let's get rid of an Enter the Infinite. Okay, we have our 2 blue. So we'll draw from Dreams, and we're looking for that show and tell. Let's see if we can. Oh, don't have it. But do we have? We have a swamp. I'll take a swamp. Because that'll turn on our Mastermind acquisition. So we'll take that, and we'll take take a Preordain. Okay. We've already played it. Okay. Let's get rid of 2 Omniscience. Let's get rid of that Omniscience. Okay. Okay. Oh, that has Defender. Oh, so we're not in that bad a shape. Okay. Their defenders do not matter. Where we're going, we don't care about defenders. We need this one. Making sure not to do the sideboard one because we don't have a sideboard. And we will need a show and tell. And yeah, we already played a land. Alright, so we're gonna take another hit, but then we should be good to go. That's fine. Yeah, I'll take 4 damage. They're all tapped out too, so we'll show and tell. Put out the Omniscience, one of our 2 Omniscience. Then we'll, you know, it's going to be easier to put it out now. Oh, actually, no, what do we not? We didn't keep that. I should have kept the Counterspell. We're going to have to scroll all the way up, because I do want to have that Counterspell. Just in case. Who knows what that last card is? I don't think there's any free cards that you can use to counter a spell, but we're just in case. Let's enter the infinite. And put back an island. Scroll all the way up. And play our Laboratory Maniac. Laboratory Maniac. We'll Preordain. Yep. And then we'll Preordain again. Alright. So that was and I'm actually surprised I got through, I managed to explain that deck pretty quickly, get through a few matches, show you how it works, pretty quickly. I'm surprised. But as you can see, this is not the most potent combo deck that you can build in. I believe this is Legacy legal. I think because of the Preordain, I forget what's in it that causes it to be Legacy specifically. Maybe in Vintage. I don't even remember. I certainly don't believe it's Modern legal. It is. So it's certainly not the most potent combo in that format. Certainly not. You know, you can see it's turn 8, turn 6, I think was the other one that we went on. But it takes time for you to find the show and tell, to find the Omniscience, and sometimes you'll find the Omniscience and the show and tell, be able to play them. But then you have to dig for the Enter the Infinite, and you know it's a clunky combo. I really built this deck as kind of I early on when I was playing Magic the Gathering, I discovered OmniTell as a deck, and I also discovered Enter the Infinite. And I was excited to build a deck around it, and you know, here it is. This is the OmniTell with Enter the Infinite, and the weird combo it has. Once again, I wouldn't. This isn't a very competitive deck. It wins sometimes, but it's very clunky, and you really gotta scratch and claw. And you can see even when I win with this deck, I'm usually at 8 life because you don't have anything protecting you. There's no real damage protection. You know what this could use. Now that I'm thinking about it, and I actually have one, the one ring. Put the one ring in this thing. You basically get a fog effect, so you can't be damaged for a turn. And you have a draw engine. Trude's going to damage you over time, and you kind of have to deal with it pretty quickly. But I think it would make a pretty good some good to slide in here. Maybe combine this with a fog deck. Maybe I'll think that up. Maybe that's something I'll build at some point. So I guess with that I'll wrap this thing up, as Friday is almost wrapped up, and I'll thank you guys once again for joining the stream and watching the video. It's always enjoyable for me to jump on and show off a bit of Forge, and I don't think I mentioned it, but I'm sure you could have figured it out by now. Forge is an open source Magic the Gathering rules engine. You can basically play single player with, I would say, all your favorite cards. So for maybe some of the new ones, some of the really esoteric ones. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed watching this. Thanks for joining me on another episode of Forging Friday. And until next time, adios.